how to listen to your body, especially if you aren't sure about your hunger or fullness, about when you're actually hungry and when you're actually full. How do you become an intuitive eater if you struggle connecting to your hunger? That's the topic I'm covering today. And it's really important because when we're listening to when we begin intuitive eating, oftentimes the conversation starts off with eat when you're hungry, stop eating when you're full. And that works for 50% of people, 50 to 75% of people, but a significant number of people are not connected to hunger, and there's nothing wrong with that. So this video, we're going to be going over how to start listening to your body if you don't have great hunger cues. And there's this weird paradox. The weird paradox is that if you don't have really good connection to hunger cues, you actually start out with, this is going to sound taboo, but a plan. I know. Meal plan, sounds like a diet. Sounds like you're lacking willpower, or you're using willpower to stick to something. It seems very similar to a diet. And this, before we go into how to pull off a plan and how to think about it correctly, I just want to say something real quick about it's a paradox. Life is never black and white. It's very situational. So, yes, we want to become intuitive eaters where we don't have a plan, but if you aren't connected to your hunger cues, intuitive eating isn't going to work in the beginning. By giving you a plan and a structure, not so much of how much to eat, but when to eat. It's the when. It's not as much on the nutrition or the amount. It's really about the timing. So, but by having a plan and some structure about when to eat, that can help you start getting in touch with your hunger. Let's say there's a dam that is broken, right? So imagine a dam, water's gushing over the bridge, and you say, just let the water flow. Well, if you just let the water flow, it's gonna flow out all over the ground. It's gonna get into the town. People are gonna be upset. It's gonna empty the reservoir. So if you have a broken dam, you need to repair the dam first before you just let the water flow. Okay? So if you have been dieting for years, diet culture encourages false hunger, false fullness. They encourage you to not listen to your body. It's not uncommon. A lot of people are not connected to their hunger. Nothing wrong with that. And if you are one of those and you want to become an intuitive eater, you have to start seeing this scheduled eating as a form of self-care, as a way of nourishing your body. So what this looks like is, there's no exact set time, but generally speaking, humans get hungry between 2 and 6 hours. So you come up with a plan, and this is you. You are empowered here, by the way. You are empowered here. This is not me putting a plan on you. This is me telling, let's work together and come up with a plan. So choose a couple of times a day. We're gonna go into how to pull off a plan if you aren't connected to your hunger, how to do a plan correctly so that you can develop regular eating, nourish your body, and start attuning to hunger in the proper way. The danger is that if you start intuitive eating with just this free-for-all, is that you might still be going really high, binging, really low, and we need some even ground to start on. So how this goes is you pick a couple of times a day. Breakfast, say, maybe you could do lunch or a midday snack lunch. You could do a snack in between dinner. You pick a couple of times a day, 3 to 5 times, up to you. And you ask yourself, am I willing to set a boundary? Because these times, when you're learning to listen to hunger, you really do need to set a boundary and say, give or take 30 minutes. All right, so if I'm gonna eat at noon, maybe I eat at 11:30 or I eat at 12:30, but give or take 30 minutes, I'm gonna commit. I'm gonna set a boundary for myself that I am gonna get some food in my body at this time. And it might feel weird. It might feel weird. You might not be totally, you might not feel hungry. But if you are in this kind of no man's land of hunger and you're not sure if you're hungry or not, eating regularly for some amount of time, it might be a week, it might be a month, I'm not quite sure how long it'll take. Not too long, but some time. Eating regularly for some time with this structured eating. Maybe you eat at 8, 12, 4, and 8. Give or take a half hour each time. And all you gotta do is you sit down and you try eating. This is you taking care of yourself. You gotta nourish your body. You gotta get your body on a sort of rhythm. If it's going binge eating and depletion, the hormones get screwed up, the brain signals get screwed up, everything is thrown out of whack, you're in this weird foggy state. This gets you even. Okay? So pick a few times a day, give or take 30 minutes. You don't want to be rigid about this, right? This is not about rigidity. This is not about failing. It's not like you fail if you miss a meal, okay? This is about taking care of ourselves. If you miss a meal, just try to understand why. This is not coming from a place of perfection. This is not a diet. So you pick a couple of times a day, and you expect that it might feel weird to sit down and try to eat. And it's not like you have to finish your plate. Get that out of your head. You don't have to finish your plate. This is the beginning steps on how you can start learning to listen to your body if you aren't currently connected to your body. And a couple things on a meal. Matt, I'll link to a video down below where I talk about plates. The idea of a plate is you get veggies. It's pretty simple. You get a plate, a third veggies, a third proteins, and a third carbs. Just keep it like that. So whenever you eat, try to get a little bit of balance with those three groups. If you can't get all three groups, don't worry about it. Try to get two. Okay, so like chicken and veggies, or chicken and rice, or veggies and like beans and chicken, or I don't know, bread and green beans or something. So try to get three, but if you can't, try to get two. So we're trying to get balance in our meals. So these are the simple guidelines. We need to nourish our body. When you're binge eating and then going into deprivation, these big cycles, it gets everything screwed up. And it's like the dam, there's like a big storm going on. It's like a hurricane. It's like, and then total silence, no waves, right? Imagine like a ocean with no waves. It's kind of weird. And then a hurricane comes, and then no waves. Those are extremes. And so what we're doing in the beginning is we're using a little bit of willpower and structure to generate waves, generate rhythm. And over time, this rhythm will start becoming more and more, there'll be momentum to it. It'll start to feel more natural. And as it starts to become more natural, this is like taking the training wheels off of a bike. As it starts to become more natural, and here's a couple guidelines when you know it's starting to become more natural, when you're ready for something that I call free-range intuitive eating. You're willing to respond to hunger cues. You're willing to explore in between meals if you're hungry or not. So let's say in between 12 and 4 or something, you're willing to listen if you're hungry or not. And if you are hungry, you're willing to feed yourself. You're starting to develop hunger cues and fullness cues. You're taking care of yourself. You're sleeping. You're not in an emotionally toxic relationship. And then lastly, to kind of take off the training wheels, you plan out a day. You say, all right, I'm going to drop the schedule, and I'm going to try to just go with my gut feeling on when I should eat or not. And you might think of some challenges that might come up, like eating in public, some fears that come up. You know, these are things that I kind of help people with. But that's how you start listening to your body if you aren't connected to your body. You start off with kind of training wheels, then you start with gentleness, and then you eventually take them off. So I hope that helps. Please comment, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And talk to you soon. All right, peace.